This is Karen Knight with Twin Souls Network, and today is my very first Twin Flame interview, and I am doing it with Chris Cotton, and he has a YouTube channel called Blazing&Flaming 3.0. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I encourage you to do so. And so we're going to get the interview started. Go ahead and say hello, Chris.
Hi. How's it going? Thank you for inviting me on, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being my first interview. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the beautiful little intro video clip that you did for me. It is amazing, and I will continue to use it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Isn't that so cool? Like wasn't even thinking about the whole twin thing when I did not think about that at all. So that's really cool how that lined up for you.
That is cool. And I loved that it was blue, and I love because I've pictured that before, the two souls like dancing around, and because it is, the journey really is a dance.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so my first question to you is, how did you learn you were a twin flame?
So I learned I was a twin flame June 2016. So I feel like I'm still kind of in a newbie stage because there is so many different people out there who've been on this journey for 5 years, 8 years, 15. So, and this was the week after I met my twin in the physical. And it was nothing but being guided to articles, YouTube, like literally my face just to my screen of like, oh my God, these readings, these people who are just sharing their stories is everything that I need to hear right now to make sense of my last. It was about, I think, about a month and a half between when my twin and I first made contact on social media with one another to actually meeting in person.
Nice.
I needed something to make sense of it.
Exactly. And I do find that with a lot of people, and I myself was the same way, where you're like on a hunt, like
Totally.
Because it turns your life upside down, and you're just like, what the heck is this? What's going on? Twin whata? So you're just like on this whole thing of trying to figure it all out. So I understand that. So that's common. Absolutely common. Yeah. So if you would like to tell us a little bit of your story of your twin and meeting your twin and how that all happened, if you want to.
Yeah. So he was the one who actually made the first contact, which was through Instagram, with a follow. I am such the person, like I'm so platonic, like I do not entertain anyone. And I've just kind of been that way for a long time. I guess you could say probably since my awakening back in 2012. I just really don't off the cuff flirt with people. So like when I get a follow or something like that, you're not getting a follow back automatically. Like I need to vet you out, like to see, what's your intention and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a few weeks later, I see him in church, and I'm like, oh, that's that guy. Then after that, I asked a friend about, hey, have you seen this guy before? My friend was like, yeah, I've seen him in church. So then I end up inviting him to it's kind of like a spiritual conversation meetup group I had during that time, and sent the invite. He was grateful for the invite. He didn't make it. Invited me to his EP release party. I couldn't make it. And then that's when that set up us exchanging numbers, just as someone to just talk to, really. And after our third conversation, this is when I kind of turned my antennas his direction of like, who is this guy? We were in a conversation just talking about music, life, and he just like abrupted the conversation and said, I just really want to let you know I appreciate, just talking to you and having the ability to talk to people who out here in LA can sometimes be superficial or feel like you don't get to talk about the stuff that we're talking about. So, I want to let you know that I'm digging your energy. I was like, ooh, like what? This is the first time I've ever heard like anyone use like energy in that context. And it was, it was a nice compliment. And ever since that day is when I'm like, I have to figure out who this person is in my life. And then the following week, we met in person. The energy was off the chain. Like, it was a great experience. Even got a confirmation of a guy who walked up to me that day, asking me if I was going on a date. Random, at a bus stop. And this is my first date in like years. And so the coincidence of that, right?
Right.
And then separation happened after the first time we met. It really did. We were just not on the same page emotionally, communication-wise. That's when I started to find the Twin Flame resources online. And I was eating it alive, soaking it up. Fast forward a year and a half later, we actually began dating, which was last fall. And then 5D Dreams basically gave me the confirmation that I was about to receive him in my life. After that dream, 3 days later, his first time at my house. After that, he's hanging out there, and then like he's staying the night sometimes. And it was a huge shift, and it was great. Like him then sharing conversations with him and another twin flame friend who happened to be my roommate, who I found out was a twin because I shared my story with her.
Right.
So we would have these open, transparent dialogues, and everything was just spiritually driven and fed. And we got official by title in February of this year, and then actually broke up a month and a half later.
Oh, wow.
So that happened, and then ever since then, we definitely were not communicating as much as we used to. But within the last 3 weeks, there's been a change. It hasn't been a change that I've felt in the 5D that is saying it's another shift, but in the 3D. So it's very
Physical.
yeah. It's just very kind of like I'm being told by my guidance just to have fun, just to have fun. Don't dig up the stuff from the past,
Exactly.
just let them handle it and just have fun right now. And so that's been my challenge, but my goal. And we've been doing a pretty good job at it. So
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So as we all know, the separation is the hardest part of it because it just knocks you off your feet. And it is. I loved his description. It is an energy that you've never known before. So we all know that the separation is the painful part of it. And it's the painful part for your soul as well, because we have essentially been separated for many, many lifetimes. So it is hard, and there is some sadness. But I feel like we've all kind of went out of that now, and we've kind of released a lot of the sadness and the pain, and are more on an even keel with things. We've done all the healing, and now it's about manifesting all of this in the physical and facing the physical challenges head on. So what would you say is, besides the separation, been the biggest challenge for you, or what challenge can you foresee in the physical for you and your twin?
So a part of our dynamic deals with having other people involved in our connection, our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of our breakup deals with friends being involved in influence. And I don't know details, and I'm not going to act like I do, but because of the severance between my friends and his, one of our challenges is for him dealing with having these two separate worlds and wondering how the hell they're going to come back together.
Right.
So that's one thing I would say is a challenge. I would also say my sense of neglect, which so easily comes just through sending a text. And we could be having a conversation where we're texting back and forth, do. And then my last question, you know, I'm waiting for a response, and then it's like 15 minutes later or something like that. And it's like just the sense of like, you leaving me, you know, or what are you doing? Wow, well, I thought you were just at work. So why can't you just, you know, and all of that comes with it. So just dealing with that, and I actually came to that realization as of last night. But I actually understood how my sixth sense of neglect worked in my favor.
Absolutely.
Help him with like, so I do this kind of thing with him where like I'll take him snacks for his midnight job that he works overnight.
Oh.
And I asked him, I was like, hey, like you got snacks? And he said no, and I'm like super freezing. But his response came to me, so I'm like headed to him already, like regardless if he had them or not. But he responded to me like 20 minutes later, and I'm like almost to where he is. But I turned around and I went home. I was like, nope, I'm going home because you're taking too long. And but this is like super late. It's like 3 a.m. And so as soon as I pull up, his text says, hey, no, I don't, but I'm freezing. So the thing about that is like, if I would have had the snacks for him, I would have got there while he had no jacket, but I was sent home in a sense so that I could prepare snacks and have a jacket for him while he's at work.
Right.
Exactly. But in the process of that was my, oh my God, like, why aren't you texting me that, and all of that, you know, but it ended up working in my favor because I was not going to go to your job twice.
Right.
You know what I mean? that wasn't happening.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So he got snacks in his jacket at the same time.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. I don't see that as neglectful. You're taking him snacks.
No, it was the sense of neglect because of the time period of when I asked if he wanted them and when I got the response. But that response time, the lag between it, made me drive home. So now I'm getting you a jacket and your snacks.
Right.
And still trying out with your snacks and then not feeling like I'm about to go get you a jacket because I wasn't going to go back and forth.
Right.
I knocked out two birds with one stone, but it was only because I got the text later than I wanted to that I was able to do that. Right.
So essentially what you're describing as neglect is you feeling like you were neglected.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And that is that, that a part of it. And that I feel like that is because we have to clear that feeling of rejection. Like we're not really rejected. We're never rejected.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's that physical feeling of, oh, he's busy. He's with someone else, or he's ignoring me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let me ask you, and this is the question that I'm inserting because it just came to me. Because, of course, one of the challenges with being a same-sex twin, as you are and I am, and I plan to highlight several same-sex twins on this channel, just because there are a lot of people, especially even within the spiritual community, that still judge it and think that that's not a thing, that's not a thing, it's not a divine thing or whatever. And I'm not highlighting their negativity regarding it. I just want to shine the light that this is real and it's true and it is divine. So do you feel that that is a challenge to your twin flame journey at all, being same sex?
As of right now, no. And I would definitely say I battled with the whole, not necessarily with him, but with my whole sexuality thing of like God and divine and being involved with like, is it right? Is it right? Is it wrong? I battled with that, you know, for a few years back in, I would say 2014, 2015. But as much as I surrender my life and attract an amazing human being that I have, and I really can't take much credit for it. It's all divine. Yes. So he just happens to have a penis and I do too.
It's not it's the genitalia is the only 3D thing.
Yeah.
Genitalia. That's it.
For sure.
The energy is, you know, it's masculine and feminine, but we're androgynous, and especially being old souls, we're even more androgynous.
Right, exactly.
Lots of lives where we've been both sexes in those lives, so it really doesn't matter. But it's indescribable, and it's amazing, the same-sex twins that I've talked to, where it's not even a factor. They're just like, I love this person. I know this person. This person's familiar to me. I know this person. I know that this is true love, divine love. I don't care. I mean, really, they could be anything. And it's that soul connection and the energy that you share between you, and they're just a match for you. So really, gender and that really isn't a factor.
Yeah, and I think we have it's almost like we have a almost unique journey ourselves with the unconditional love factor. Because if you can love us, then like we've done our job.
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just highlighting the love that's there regardless. I mean, and especially and I know there's some same-sex twins where they were born into this lifetime already being homosexual, for lack of a better word, being homosexual in this lifetime. And so it was a no-brainer that, you know, when they met their twin and it was the same sex, it was a no-brainer. But there are several people on this journey, and myself included, where that wasn't our lifestyle. We lived a heterosexual lifestyle, and then to meet your twin and it's the same sex. And that does pose a challenge for some twins. I know that they're like, whoa. But for me, it was so powerful and so unmistakable that I just, there was no way. And they had set me up with that beforehand, with that, the other person, people call them pre-twins or whatever, but I didn't feel twin energy. It was just setting.
You were attracted to that,
Even recognize a female at all, to even be attracted or anything to a female, or to even find her, because I wasn't in that community at all. I would have never, had that not happened, they would have had to went some major way around me finding somebody in a total different 1,000-mile away state. So it was, so anyway, that's just a little bit of the story of same-sex twins and how that is a challenge for some, because they have to overcome the fact that, it's same-sex and releasing that judgment. So I do feel that the ones that are same-sex, it's a real high calling, because we've taken on an extra challenge.
And if you're not in the United States, let's add that into because we're more liberated than these other countries. He's like that. I mean, yeah, I'm connected to some twins, and it's a very tough
It,
love.
it is. I actually had a same-sex twin from Russia, where
Mm,
I guess it's really frowned on over there.
yeah,
And so, you know, that their mission is huge to
right.
take that out. And I do know, well, Molly, and everyone I'm sure knows Molly from Twin Flame Buddha. She just posted about the victory in India
Yeah.
regarding that. So that's amazing. And she, as being the being that she is and anchoring her union there, has helped to change that over. I fully
Yeah.
believe.
Very true. I agree.
So it's a beautiful thing. So while we're talking about beautiful, we've talked about some of the challenges. What's the most beautiful thing you would say about this journey?
About the journey, I would say, it's always the simple things in life that really gets me. Whether if it's a synchronistic event with my twin, or I want to think of something in particular. Um, I mean, so we were at a bar one day,
Okay.
and um, he wanted to make his move of us moving forward, and he gave me a straw ring, and he's like, will you be my boyfriend? And it was like super cute and super sweet, and I said yes. Um, and it was just something that, even though it was kind of like, well, what does this mean? Like, what is changing about our like dynamic? Really couldn't answer that question. Interesting, but yeah, I mean, the intimate laughs, the 5D dreams that come into fruition in the 3D, the confirmations that you have with your guidance and your team of, you know, whether things to come, things to watch out for, all of it. It's great. I mean, this journey helps me tap deeper and deeper into myself. And as stressful and wearing it can be at times, I'm appreciative of it. I'm grateful.
Yeah, yeah, it's rewarding, and it will be even more rewarding in the future.
Oh,
But
oh,
it,
we haven't seen nothing yet.
no, no, we haven't. And I have a grandfather who was a minister, and when we talk about judgment or religion, and I know you have a religious background as well. Had a grandfather that was a minister, and I have several ministers in my family, but he used to say that from the pulpit a lot. We haven't seen anything yet. Of
Mm.
course, he's talking about um, Jesus coming back or those things like that. But I always remember him when someone says that, and I believe it's still true and rings true.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Regardless of what he believed it is, it holds true. So both are valid. What he believes and I believe are both valid. That we haven't seen anything yet. So that's beautiful. And I wanted to address one other thing, and this is like going with the flow of the interview. Do you think that, and your twin is a different race as well?
Yes.
So have you had any challenges or difficulties with that aspect of it, or was that just, oh, no big deal?
Not yet. For me, as far as, okay, so my friend I initially showed my twin to way back in the day before we met, that same friend, I actually had a conversation about dating and relationships a week prior. And he asked me, like, hey, friend, could you see yourself dating outside your race? I said, no, never. Look where I am today.
Just
So,
the universe.
look at the universe. It's really interesting. I do feel like I did go through a little integration period of like, what does this look like around family? What does this look like around friends and all of that? And that was separate from any conversation I had with my twin. Um, but yeah, I feel like we wouldn't have a quote unquote issue until someone presents us with an issue. And that hasn't happened yet.
Right, right. And you don't think that it is an issue for your twin at all either?
Well,
Or do you think it is?
no, it's not an issue at all because he actually dates or has only dated outside of his race.
Oh, I see. Okay. So what he was really essentially looking for this whole time was you.
Are you trying to make me blush?
Yes.
Well, you're doing a good job.
That's the truth, though.
Good.
That's what I believe as well on the journey. Yes, is that we're everything that each other wants. You know what I'm saying? Even regardless whether my twin is a woman or not, she still holds all of those things that I want in a person, in a mate, that I admire, that I find attractive. So, and that's the same way for our twins as well. They're essentially been looking for us in other people. And so I don't doubt that he has dated outside of his race at all. So that's just another beautiful part of this journey.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see here. Oh, so then you said you considered yourself a newbie still, but if there was someone that was just waking up on this journey now, what would be your advice for them that you have learned to help navigate through the journey?
Chill out.
Yes.
Chill out. You have nowhere to go.
Right.
Everything is coming to you that you deserve, and that is your highest love, the divine love. It is coming to you. Yeah. Chill out. Relax. Take a breather.
Patient.
Patient. It's all, yeah, it's as much as, because I don't, it's really hard to kind of like separate like your monkey mind, your 3D mind to your 5D mind sometimes. It's really, but even to this day, for me, like I recognize how often I am in that mind. I'm in that ego mind of like, I want to get this done. I want this way. I want this in this picture perfect way of how I want things. When that's just not how the universe works. That's just not how this thing works.
Yeah, it's it really is about surrendering and letting go of control.
Yeah.
We put our hands on it, when we put our hands on the situation. And I learned that early on in my life, not just with this journey, but when you put your hands on the situation and not let God take control or the universe, God, source, universe, whatever you want to say, and let it flow, then it gets all screwed up. And the thing about it too, for me, has been releasing the fear to let go. And that's one of the reasons that we do hang on so tightly to everything and want everything to go, is because we have fear that something's going to go wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. And I would also say, do not allow the past to give you a analysis or a prediction of what's coming in your future. Because the past is it's literally as each second go by, it's old news, and there's something being created right now for you, right now for you, right now for you.
Right. It's
And
always changing.
yeah, always. And so like we can so easily be like, oh my gosh, well, I haven't heard from my twin in the last 5 months. I will never hear from them again, right?
Right, right, right.
You don't know, next day you have an email, or it's just,
Letting your mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just gotta let it go of when, how, where, what, and just gotta live your life. Live your life. Live it as best as you can. Send, if you want to, send good prayers, good love, good energy toward your twin. If you want to have fun, ask for dreams in the 5D, see what your guides give you, you know, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we didn't touch on this, and I had asked you about this, but I don't know if I got a clear understanding of it. When you and your twin were living together, did he mention any of the things that you experienced as far as feeling each other's energy or telepathy or hearing your thoughts? Did he give you any indication that any of that was going on? There's a juicy question for you.
That is juicy. Um, I wish I had like a really definite answer. From what I remember, it was nothing that like he came to me and was like, you were just thinking about this, or were you just feeling this? We have had experiences though, like let's say we'll call each other and like I had a headache all day, right? And then we'll talk and he would be like, oh, yeah, just trying to get over my headache.
Uh,
So we've had like
yeah,
situations where like certain pains come up at the same time.
yeah.
Um, but not necessarily. I'm sure if we could probably, if it comes up in the future, I'm sure we could have moments where we'd be like, wait, well, weren't you just thinking that when da da da? Or, yeah. So nothing that has come up in conversation per se. But I do look forward to having some of those
Right.
experiences in the future.
But you could see it. So it was more of like a confirmation for you that, yeah, we're in harmonious sync here, but he didn't confirm any of that.
No, we haven't had any necessary conversations where I feel like he hasn't approached our connection in that way yet.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I see. Well, awesome. Yeah. Um, that really concludes my list of questions that I have. But is there anything else that you want to share about your journey? Anything you want to say about the journey at all?
I would like to say, keep going. Life is not all about your twin.
Exactly. Yes.
And regardless if you come into union or not with your twin, who knows? It may happen, it may not happen. I would say you have divine love coming your way. Regardless, it's coming, and it's going to be great. It's going to
Yeah.
be.
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think, is there another question that I have looming? It seems like this was short. I don't even know what time we started. Um, do you have a question for me? Since you're an interviewer yourself,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's see here. How has your journey been? And this is something I don't think many of your viewers may know, but as far as being one of those who hasn't had much physical communication with your twin, what has been one of your fondest tools to go to when it comes to the urge, whether it's the urge to contact or the urge to hear from your twin?
Well, I will have to say that detachment has been the biggest blessing for me in that regard, and surrender. And I learned surrender like early on in the journey. Like it was because there were so many doubts because of the nature of my journey and how it all came about. I had to let go of religion. I had to let go of all judgment. I had to let go of, I am really incarnated in this life to be a lesbian with a twin and not in a heterosexual relationship. I've had to come to terms with so many things that I had to battle doubt. It was a huge thing for me, is doubting this, doubting I was good enough for my twin, physically and otherwise, which I've said before, but I had to surrender. Like that's been the biggest thing, in surrendering to the fear of it so that I could embrace trust that this is real, this is my truth. This is what I chose to do, the mission that I chose to do here and incarnate at this time. That I have lived past lifetimes with my twin, that we, that we're angelic beings, all of those things. So I had to surrender and believe and have faith and trust. So that's been the biggest thing. And when you don't have any communication and you don't have any validation or confirmation, your mind can go to that place of, I'm nuts. This is crazy.
I'm fucking insane. Yeah.
This person is clearly pushing me away, clearly wants me to go away.
Right.
Yet you feel different. You feel differently because you can feel the true twin. You can feel the truth of your twin behind the mask. So you're thinking in your mind, and that's why some people do struggle with reaching out, because they can feel the love, but they don't have any confirmation in the physical. So they go with that feeling, and then, they can be shot down because their twin's not on the same page as them in the physical. Yeah. So it's harder. It's harder for you. I mean, it's easier for the journey, to getting the journey done and getting what you need to get done, cleared and healed, because it's been a faith builder for sure. And it's made me trust myself more and trust my authenticity of who I really am by not having that validation. And, it's what's helping me do this channel and tell the world what twin flames are and say I'm a twin flame. And it's one of the things that a lot of people still contact me for, is when I need a boost of faith or trusting this journey, I know I can have a conversation with you and it's restored for me because you've really kept the faith. But the separation is mandatory, I feel like, and it just helps you get your things done a lot quicker. And it makes it better in the end because you haven't grounded any of the unhealed business between you. It's all going to be, good when you finally do come together. So I'm glad that I did choose this, but it's a faith builder. And let me tell you, there's other people on the journey where I've had communications with my twin. I've actually met my twin in the physical. There are people that their journeys are even more so where there's been zero.
Yeah.
There hasn't even been a nod in their direction.
Yeah.
And I look at them and say, my God, how
more power to you. Okay.
Oh my gosh, they're just as strong and as faithful and trusting, and just, it's incredible. I don't know if I could do that, and then there's some people look at me and be like, I don't know how I could do your journey. So it's like, we all have different journeys of what we wanted to challenge ourselves with. You know, what did I want to challenge myself? I wanted to challenge myself that regardless of any validation or confirmation or love or anything, that I was good enough for this. I deserved this, and I will be rewarded for it, and keeping that faith. And so that was building my self-love tremendously through all of this. So it's all what you chose.
Yeah, and we didn't come for it to be easy as well. Like, we came for the grit, we came for the grind, we came to clear this darkness, we came to shine this light, and yeah, that means we have our hats on, our tool belts, and we're like in for it. So
yeah, and we're doing that. We're helping to clear all of that for just with our lives that we took on. We're powerful enough beings that with us taking on lots of issues, which we haven't touched on, but there's several issues: domestic violence, abuse, neglect, all these.
I just want to just throw it out there. It's 5:55 my time, and my twin just texted me.
Oh my goodness.
Number for change. Let's do it.
It is. Yes, it is. That is a good sign for me.
Yes.
And my very first interview with you. That's beautiful. I love it. I've seen a license plate, I think 3 months ago. It said New Begin, but it was paraphrased, of course, because you fit the whole thing. But it was New Beginnings 555 on it.
Love it.
I took a picture of it and put it on Instagram. So fives are huge. I see them a lot. I see 555 almost every day. So, but it's 755 here.
Right.
But that's okay.
It is.
I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take it as a good sign. And I can't wait to kiss Memphis on the cheek one of these days.
Aww.
Yeah.
It made me all warm inside.
Yes. Well, we're family. You know, we are.
Yeah.
So on that beautiful, wonderful note, I think we're going to close out. Again, thank you so much for being my first interview. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being here on this earth, doing your mission and journey to help humanity, to raise the vibration, to help all twins come into union, to help anchor in divine love for the rest of the world, which I feel is our huge mission. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you for being who you are, for staying strong and showing what it looks like to be a leader, and just sharing your heart with the world and putting yourself out there, because everyone doesn't want to do that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for your faith, for continuing on.
Yes, well, thank you. I appreciate those words. And I'm going to sign off. If you are a twin on a twin journey and would like to be interviewed by me, please email me. I always leave all of my information below on all of my videos. If you need assistance in any way, I implore you to reach out to me. If you haven't had a chance to check out Chris's videos, he has a lot of very helpful videos regarding the journey. He's been on the journey for a while, as I have as well. And again, his channel is Blazing and Flaming 3.0. Oh, did you want to say something about, you do readings? What other services do you
I'm starting a vision checkup service. So
talk about that a little bit?
It's all about the basis of that we're all visionaries at heart. And I want to help give you some Visine for your mind's eye. So it's based off of the hypnosis therapy modalities. So taking you into a meditative state, you have your list of questions, we have your guides, your higher self, and whoever else may be with you that you may not even know, come through and give you some profound messages for you. So I actually have my first official client next week. After that, I have one in 2 weeks after that. And then I just booked one today as well. So
nice.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so I'll be, if you would like to contact me in reference to that, you can email me at blazing, the letter N, flaming @gmail.com.
Beautiful. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, and I'm going by a tip. This is all by tips right now. So we do the session, and if you want to tip me, then that's how we're going right now. So it's
Like a donation based, right?
donation rate. Yep.
Chris, yes.
Yeah.
Take
And
advantage of that and see what happens, and then I can make a little video about it, or I
yeah,
can talk about my experience and put it on your channel or whatever, dude.
I'm always taking. Yeah, I got to get my roommate's testimonial because we did a mini one about 2.5 weeks ago. So
Beautiful, beautiful. See, that's what it's about. We're using all of our gifts to help everybody along to move forward on their journey. That's like the biggest thing for me when I work with people, is to help them move forward, not be stuck. Keep going.
yes.
All right, well, we're signing off. This is Kara Knight with Chris Cotton, and this concludes our Twin Flame interview. Have a blessed day, night, whatever time you see this video, and all of our information will be below.
Stay love. All right.
Bye. Love you, Chris.